fun fact that really shows how massive the world of data is. By the end of 2025, the global volume of data created and stored is projected to hit around 181 zettabytes. And guess what? The number is still growing as we move through 2026. So to put this in perspective, that's like having billions of DVDs stacked high into space. Pretty mind-blowing, right? Well, with the explosion of data, systems and data warehouses, data lakes and data lakehouses are more important than ever. But what do these terms actually mean and how are they different? Well, here's a simple way to think about it. A data warehouse is like a super organized library where structured, clean data is stored, making it easier to run reports and gain insights. A data lake, on the other hand, is like a giant storage pool where all sorts of data, whether it's structured, semi-structured or unstructured, can be stored until it's needed. Then we have the data lakehouse. So this combines the best of both worlds. It stores vast amounts of raw data like a lake, but also allows for super fast analytics, just like a data warehouse. So in both the US and in India, digital transformation and cloud adoption are driving huge growth in data infrastructure. So from data warehouses powering business intelligence to data lakes supporting advanced analytics, understanding how these systems work is key for anyone working with data in today's world. So are you ready to dive in deeper? Let's explore how they can help businesses stay ahead in the data game. So first, we shall begin with Introduction to Data Storage Systems. So here you will learn why data storage systems are essential for businesses with a focus on data warehouses, data lakes, and data lakehouses. What is a data warehouse? Understand how a data warehouse stores structured data for easy querying and analytics, and discover when it's best used in business operations. What is a data lake? Learn how data lakes store large amounts of raw unstructured data and explore the advantages and disadvantages for businesses with diverse data needs. What is a data lakehouse? Discover how a data lakehouse combines the flexibility of data lake with the speed of a data warehouse to enable more efficient data processing and analysis. Practical comparison: data warehouse versus data lake versus data lakehouse. Comparing the speed, cost, and flexibility of data warehouses and data lakes and data lakehouses to understand the key differences and how they can benefit your organization. Why data architecture matters for modern businesses. Learn why having a strong data architecture is crucial for businesses to make better decisions, optimize operations, and gain a competitive edge. Real-world examples of data storage system. Explore how leading companies like Walmart, Twitter, and Amazon use data warehouses, data lakes, and data lakehouses to drive and optimize decisions to optimize their digital framework. Future trends in data storage. Get insights into the future of data storage, including the rise of democratization and the role of AI in automating data management, ensuring more efficient and accessible data practices. So before we move on, here is something really exciting. If you're someone who wants to build real job-relevant skills in generative AI, machine learning, and intelligent automation, this program can be genuinely helpful. In partnership with Simplilearn, it's designed to take you from the fundamentals to practical applications, so you don't just learn concepts, you also work with hands-on projects, guided exercises, and industry tools that help you build confidence. You also get to learn from industry experts and gain exposure to advanced topics like Gen AI, agentic AI, deep learning, NLP, MLOps, and intelligent systems. And what makes it even more valuable is that it focuses on helping you apply AI in real businesses and workplace scenarios, not just theory. So whether you want to grow in your current role, move into AI-driven work, or build a strong future-ready profile, this program gives you the right skills, practice, and professional credibility to move in that direction. So now that we have a clear direction for the session, let us begin with a quick beginner-friendly question. What is the main difference between a data lake and a data warehouse? Is it A, a data lake stores only structured data? B, a data warehouse stores raw unprocessed data? C, a data lake can store all kinds of raw data, but a data warehouse stores clean and structured data? D, they are exactly the same. So in today's world, data is more valuable than ever. It drives business decisions, improves customer experiences, and streamlines operations. Think of it like a fuel for a car. Without it, things don't just run. But much like how the quality of fuel affects the car's performance and how you store and manage your data impacts effectiveness of your decisions, imagine trying to run a car on bad fuel. This won't perform well, and you will probably end up stuck. So similarly, if your data isn't stored properly or efficiently, your decisions might be off, slow, or incomplete. So this is why understanding the right way to store data is so crucial, especially as we move into 2026. So we're going to explore the 3 key data storage solutions that businesses are using today. And those are data warehouses, data lakes, and data lakehouse. So each system has its strengths and weaknesses, and knowing which one to choose for your business needs can make all the difference. So let's dive into these systems and see how they work and how they can help your business stay ahead. So let's start with data warehouses, one of the most commonly used systems in businesses today. So a data warehouse is like a library for structured data. So think of it as an organized system where everything is neatly arranged and categorized. Data from various businesses, departments like sales, marketing, or finance is stored in tables, making it easy to query and analyze. So the key here is structured data, which is the data that fits into a well-defined format like numbers, dates, and text. So businesses use data warehouses when they need to generate consistent reports, track historical trends, or perform deep analytics. For example, in retail, companies rely on data warehouses to generate sales reports, track inventory, and forecast demand. So this structured system makes it easy to run queries and get insights. Also, it helps make companies data-driven decisions quickly. So the main benefit of a data warehouse is that it's optimized for speed, so you get fast, reliable access to structured data for analytics. However, the downside is that it only handles structured data, meaning unstructured data like videos, images, or social media posts can't be stored efficiently here. So now let's explore how data lakes can handle different kinds of data. So now that we've covered data warehouses, let's move on to data lakes. So think of data lake as an open ocean where you can throw all kinds of data, whether it's structured data like sales numbers or unstructured data like social media comments, images, or log files. So unlike data warehouses, data lakes don't require data to be organized in any specific format. So this means that all sorts of raw, unprocessed data can be stored in a data lake ready for future analysis. So data lakes are particularly useful for businesses that collect large amounts of diverse data like social media companies, e-commerce platforms, or IoT devices. And for example, a social media platform that can store user comments, images, and videos in a data lake and later use that data to perform sentiment analysis or identify trends. So the major benefit of a data lake is its flexibility. Companies can store all kinds of data regardless of the format. But the downside here is that its raw data needs to be processed and cleaned before it's analyzed. So it's like throwing all of your clothes into a laundry basket, and you need to sort and organize them before they become useful. So now let's look at how a data lakehouse can blend the strengths of both. A data lakehouse is a hybrid solution that combines the best of both data warehouses and data lakes. So imagine having the flexibility to store all kinds of data like a data lake, but with the organization and performance optimization of a data warehouse. So that's the magic of a data lakehouse. So in a data lakehouse, businesses can store raw unstructured data like a data lake, but they can also apply the structure needed for fast queries and reporting, much like in a data warehouse. This hybrid model allows businesses to get the best of both worlds, that is flexibility in data storage and speed in analytics. So over the past few years, the data lakehouse has become increasingly popular because it allows companies to scale while maintaining high performance. For example, a next-gen e-commerce company might use a data lakehouse to store customer behavior data like clicks, views, or purchases, alongside structured data like sales reports, enabling them to analyze both with high speed and efficiency. So this is why data lakehouses are gaining so much attention. They help businesses run diverse data and still run complex queries quickly. So now that we understand what each system is, let's compare them side by side. So think of it like comparing different types of storage solutions. So a data warehouse is great for structured data and fast analytics, but it can't handle unstructured data. A data lake excels in storing all types of data, but it requires complex processing to extract value. Meanwhile, a data lakehouse offers a balance, allowing you to store and query both structured and unstructured data efficiently. Now let's move on to speed. So data warehouses optimize for speed in reporting and querying. So data lakes, on the other hand, are slower because raw data needs processing. And data lakehouses strike a balance between speed and flexibility. Cost. So when it comes to cost, data warehouses tend to be more expensive because they require a lot of processing power for structured data. And data lakes are cheaper to store large amounts of data, but come with a higher operational cost due to the needs for data processing. And data lakehouses fall in between, offering both performance and cost efficiency. In terms of flexibility, data lakes and data lakehouses offer more flexibility in terms of data types, while data warehouses are limited to structured data. So now that we have a clear comparison, let's move on to why data architecture matters for modern businesses. In terms of flexibility, data lakes and data lakehouses offer more flexibility in terms of data types, while data warehouses are limited to structured data. Let's move on to why data architecture matters for modern businesses. So data is more than just something businesses store. So it's a key driver for decisions. And in 2026, data is what informs how companies track customer behavior, manage supply chains, and even personalize user experiences. And having a strong data architecture ensures that businesses can extract meaningful insights from the data they collect. And this leads to better strategies and smarter decisions. So for example, data architecture helps retailers analyze customer purchasing behavior, allowing them to offer personalized recommendations and targeted promotions. So without a solid data foundation, businesses risk making decisions based on incomplete or inaccurate information, which could lead to costly mistakes. So this is why getting your data architecture right is critical for long-term success. Now let's look at some real-world examples of how different businesses are using data warehouses, data lakes, and data lakehouses. So in retail, a company like Walmart may use data warehouses to generate sales reports and track inventory. So they need fast, reliable data for operational efficiency. And when it comes to social media platforms, companies like Twitter or Facebook store massive amounts of unstructured data like posts, comments, or videos. So this allows them to analyze trends and user sentiment over time. Then we have next-gen enterprises. So companies like Amazon or Spotify use data lakehouses. So they need the flexibility of a data lake to store all the types of data, but also need the speed of a data warehouse to quick queries and reporting on user behavior of sales trends. So by looking at these examples, it's clear that the choice of data storage solution depends on the type of data that you need to work with and at the speed at which you need the access to the data. So looking ahead to 2026, data storage is rapidly evolving. So we're moving towards making data smarter and more accessible. So data democratization is a major trend where people across organizations, whether it's in marketing, finance, or operations, can easily access and analyze data without needing any technical expertise. So as businesses increasingly rely on data for everyday decision making, the trend of simplified, accessible data will continue to grow. So additionally, smarter storage systems will use AI and machine learning to automatically categorize and process data, reducing the need for manual intervention. And as we move forward, businesses will continue to embrace these trends, making data storage more efficient and user-friendly. So now that you've seen all the basic kinds of data warehouses, data lakes, and data lakehouses, you're equipped to understand where and why each type is used. So these systems are the backbone of modern data work, from business reporting to advanced analytics and everything in between. So as companies continue to collect more data than ever, especially in data-driven economics like US and India, knowing how these systems differ helps you make smarter decisions on how data is stored, accessed, and analyzed. Ready to dive deeper into applying the knowledge in real projects? Let me know what you want to explore next. Keep learning with Simplilearn.